Hi, welcome back to 0.5%, episode 10. This is part 2 of the weekend research. I'm not sure where I said I was going to end on part 1. I'm recording this the next day. But I do want to jump back into barchart.com. I think I was on track to go ask ChatGPT and XAI some questions, but I think I just found some more really helpful information on barchart. And what I've been looking at is these tabs up at the top. So just looking at stocks, options, ETFs, futures. And the first one I clicked on was futures because I think, actually, if I just go to bar chart, let's see what it says. I don't know. I just saw some news about Trump and tariffs, and futures are down. S&P 500 suffered more selling on Friday. But everything's looking down at the moment. Alright. One thing that I was interested in, let's just start with stocks. On the stocks tab, if you come down to performance leaders, there's this subcategory called range change. Not 100% sure what that means, but I clicked on this and I saw something interesting. So look at these massive changes, plus 32%, and then whatever the range is. Let me see. Difference between the last open price divided by the open price expresses a percentage. Okay. But what is concerning about something like that to me is this low volume. You know, I like to trade stuff that's in the millions. So I come here, and look at this one. The range isn't up very much, which means it hasn't deviated very far from what it's been doing, if I understand that correctly. Difference, so it's the percent of change compared. Let me see, change the difference between the current price and the previous day's settlement. Okay. But yeah, so I was looking at this DBVT. Let's see what happens if I click on it here. Or actually, I will. I'll pull it up on Yahoo. DBVT. And I'm almost certain too, my buddy that I trade with was telling me about this company a while ago. Like a couple, not too far, like a couple weeks. He must have seen the first pump, and he's really good at that. I don't know. He must have seen this jump. What day was this? The 28th? What's today? The 30th? No, it was further back than that. Let me go to the day chart. Wow. He might have been telling me back in December. So, wow, such a huge gap up. It's come over, another gap up, it's come over, another gap up. And look at, alright, so let's just see if I wanted to trade this. Daily MACD is positive, and the 15's crossing the 30, two good signs. Bring it down to the hour. It's ripping. Both the 15 and the 30 are positive, not even starting to turn around. Big gap between the 15 and the 30. We come down to the 15 minute. Okay, so now on the 15 minute, the trend is starting to cool off, but it's still a positive MACD, so I wouldn't mind hopping in there, maybe not immediately, looking for a bounce on the 5. So the 5 is crossing under. I would like to see that go back. But look at the chart from this perspective. It's already crossed into its top Bollinger Band, which is what I like to see. It usually bounces between the top and the middle. It's right in the middle for the last, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes it was riding. 3 minute going down. So has it crossed under? Okay, so on the 1 minute, We are in negative MACD, but the 15 has crossed the 30 and they are going up. If we zoom out, I think we are more in an uptrend than we are, and we're in a more recent uptrend than the general long-term down. Is there support? Let me go back to the day. So where is it at? It's here. I'm going to throw a line on. What else do we got here? If we go back in time. Or I mean, it's not even resistance really. That's where it's at. So I could say there's technically support here, maybe resistance here. Let me put that on there. So that looks like some support way back here, turned to resistance but broke through it first try, broke through its support, and then it's been kind of just since what, 2022, it's been trading. It dipped below right here, but since 2022, or no, even going further back. So what is this? $2.64 and then $7. So I think it could rip up again, but even just if I could catch it back in this channel, that would be pretty nice. But this is one that I would keep my eye on. I wouldn't hold it for a swing trade because I don't really know this company that well, but the potential move in the morning, it could be strong. And if it has another 50% day, that would be insane. So I want to go back to bar chart if I can now. How are we doing on time? 7 minutes. Let's go back to the ranges. And that one's got a $21 million or 21 million volume, so I'm quite happy with that. These other percent changes aren't as crazy. Let's see what this micro logo. I think that's a semiconductor, which are usually my favorite. Sector is business services. Anyways, does it say what they do? I could probably find out in the actual page for it. So MLGO. Let's take a look at that one. MLGO. Okay, so what? This thing used to be worth thousands, and now it's worth 40. That's insane. Why did it do that? And it has like no range really. Like even this range, what is this? 191, and it's sitting at 17. Oh, but it's ripping up. That's the type I'm looking for. I might start approaching the day trades like this. So look at the 1 day. It's been negative for so long, finally chilled out, and it's finally breaking. Tomorrow on this one could also be huge. The RSI is super strong. Let's come down to the hour. Whoa, MACD is positive, and it's already cooled off and is going back up again. 15's on top of the 30. Up to 15 minute, yeah, same, 15 on top of the 30, still positive. Come down to the 3 minute. Alright, 3 minute, it's crossed under, but it's still positive MACD. It is in the lower half of the Bollinger Band, but at its price, 1740, so a 10% swing would be $1.70 more, so that would be like 19 bucks. Which is below the top of the Bollinger Band. It could have a 10% swing just to get to the top. I don't know if that's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't. How large are these candlesticks? I suppose something like this. Was that 1715 to 1788? That's at least like a 1580, what, 65 cents? 1% is 17 cents. So like a 3.5 to a 4% day. That could be super nice to trade. Let's check the 1 minute's dipped under. So it has dipped under, but it is already curving back up. I would suspect once it gets back into MACD, this could rip at least, man, to what it was. This is the 1 minute chart, and it touched 20 bucks. Yeah, this might be another one I want to look at for the day trade. Alright, but that's enough of the stocks. I want to jump into the ETFs tab now. So come over here to ETFs. I'm interested in... We got ETF market overview, popular ETFs, ETF finder, top 100. Today's price surprises. Let's check that out. Okay, we're in bullish, one-time leveraged ETFs. Alright. All positive change. Let's turn the volume up. So, let's see. Let's find a good percent change too. That's interesting. The 20+ year treasury bond has the greatest volume and a 1% change. I wonder if people are moving into the treasuries and people are moving into like, I don't know if it's like a commodity or whatever, like gold and stuff, because of all the volatility in the market. That might make sense. Let me see. The reason I kind of want to look into the ETFs is for two things as well. I want to move the majority of my day trading capital, or my day trading account capital, from ETF to ETF simultaneously while day trading. And I'm also interested in actually trading the ETFs themselves, because they're a lot slower to move, so you can probably get in and get out of a trend a lot safer. And then there's usually inverses, so if one's not doing well, you just catch the inverse, and the inverses are usually like 3 times leveraged. So we've got changed. I moved it up. Alright, so let's take a look at one of these. Riverfront Strategic Income Fund. That sounds like a real estate ETF. And then Treasury, Simplify Risk, Parity. I don't know what any of these are. I wonder, let's see, ETFs, performance leaders, percent change, price change, range change. Let's go to range change on ETFs. And turn the volume up. So we're at 39 million here with the 20-year treasury. I don't know what this FT stands for. It's probably like futures or something. Utilities futures. Is that right? Price earnings, Digimon, Industry Group, First Trust Portfolio. Interesting, because I think, remember, if we went back to the beginning, utilities is one that I saw was on the rip. FXU, let's look at that chart. FXU, and we are coming up to the time, so I'll put a pause after this video. Alright, so on the day, it looks great. So we're in this clear uptrend since October. It does seem like here it started to cool down. It might be topping off here to swing back. Let's see, can I zoom out even further? Like, even look at this arch. It came back down, like, alright, so this is where it started. This is where it topped. it came back down like halfway. So it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's always getting better, but it's just slow. And that's fine with me. If I'm trading something slow, I can catch the trends better. So look what we got. We're in the upper half of the Bollinger Band. On the 1 day, MACD is positive, which is great. It kind of looks like the 15's about to cross the 30, but it is under. So it could be somewhere in the middle of the day that's more preferable to buy. The hour, here we go. I bet you when the 30 moving average on the hour chart crosses into positive MACD, it's gonna rip. 15, so 15's already back up, coming under. Let's go to the 1. So the 1's dipped, it's ready to rip back up. It's about to cross back over, and it's spent quite a bit of time under, which looks like it's done for a while. When it does go up, I see a huge dip here. Oh, this is the 1 minute chart. I would suspect if this is an ETF, it's supposed to be pretty consistent. That would mean on the 1 day, it shouldn't deviate far from, yeah, so it's above it, above it. Actually, yeah, I guess it doesn't spend too much time above it or too much time below it, which would make sense. No, not much deviation there. But on the 1 minute, I don't know if that's necessarily true for each period. Like on the 1 minute, I would expect to see way more volatility than on the day, I think. No, because if you just have a chill day, okay, I gotta think about it, but this is the approach I'm going to take for looking into new ETFs to move the majority of my savings around, and then also for day trading. But I'll pause here and see you in the next part.